Okay, in this final video for programming we're going to explore events. I'm going to use the Husky that you've probably seen from one of your prac tests, and because he's got a heap of pre-written methods, I don't have to write a lot of methods to actually get this done. So first thing I'm going to do is add a couple of billboards. Billboards are just images that we can import. So I'm going to make a billboard. I've saved them to my Alice folder, and I'm going to bring in one called controls, and I'm also going to bring in one called controls page. They're both pretty small at the moment, but we'll make them the size we want. So I'm just going to pause this, play with them to get them the size I want, and we'll come back from there. So I've made my controls, my two billboards, my control and my control page one, the size I want them. I've put them in the right place. I'm just going to write a method for this, and I'm going to make it a world method. I'm going to write a new one, and it's going to be called toggle control page. Alright, and basically it's going to be if, an if statement. I'm going to set my is showing, I'm going to put is showing false there for that. I'm going to put is showing true in this one. So basically it's just going to show and hide the two billboards that I've got. So this one is going to be is showing is true. This one will be is showing is false. And I need a condition in my if statement. I'm going to go if just put a couple of dummies in. If controls properties is showing is true. So my condition is if controls is showing, I'm going to set that to false and set my control page to showing, and if my controls is not showing, we're going to set it to true and set my control page to false, so that they'll be on and off. So to start with, I'm going to set my control page to false. Okay, so it's just going to have the controls up in the corner. Now I'm going to set an event. The first event here is when a mouse is clicked on something, not on anything, but when it's clicked on the controls, when it's clicked on that billboard, I'm going to get it to run toggle control page. So let's have a look at that. So I don't know what to do. I'm going to hit controls. I really should have done better with my billboard, but I didn't. Click on it, and now my controls show. Okay, and it says that I can do sit, stand, walk forward, turn left, turn right, enter to sit, stand as well, bark, show and hide the controls, and press space if you dare. So I'm going to hit stop. I've got nowhere to turn that off now because it only works when I click on controls. So I'm going to stop, and I'm going to add a new event when a key is typed. So this time I'm going to hit my letters, and I'm going to go C because that's what I said for my controls, and I'm going to toggle my control page. So if I hit play again, I'm going to restart so it draws. If I click on controls, it'll show me my page. If I now push the letter C, it'll turn it off. I should probably do them in the opposite order just to make sure. So world toggle control page, when control page is set to false, we'll turn that off. I probably should just turn the duration down to something much smaller. Right. So now we can see this. Hit controls, there we go. Hit the letter C, There we go. Hit letter C and it shows me the controls. Guys, you may have noticed I've actually changed the controls. I've realised I had sit stand twice, so I've changed enter to turn the wagging the tail on and off, which is what I wanted to do. So I've just created another billboard and put it in and changed everything. So you can see that hitting C turns the controls on and off. I didn't bother redoing this, I probably should have, but I didn't. And hitting C there puts it back on. So you'll just have to put up with a dodgy look there. So what we want to do, according to this, is to get him to turn left when the A is pressed. So we're going to create a new event when a key is typed, and it's going to be the letter A, and we're going to get him to do, the husky, to do turn left, and the step duration we're going to make it 0.25. That's something I've played with, but I don't actually want to do that. I actually want to change it to while a key is pressed. So I want him to turn left while the key is pressed. Now the slight difference there is, if I wanted to move him left using when a key is pressed, I'd have to hit it, the letter A, each time I wanted to move him around. If I hold the A down, it will do that until I let it go. It'll do turn left until I let it go. And I'm going to do a similar thing here. So when a key is typed, we'll scroll down to it, but I'm going to change it to while the key is pressed, change the key to good old WASD, so letters are going to be D, and I'm going to get it to turn right 0.25. And so if I go play and restart so we can see him, I hit my C key and it shows me that. And then if I hit A, it's going to turn him left. And I'm holding the A key down and he's moving around as he goes. As soon as I let go, it stops running it. Which is bad because I didn't get him to come back to there. So if I hit D, he comes around. That's right. I'm holding the D key down. This is not going to be perfect, but you can see that as I hold the D key down, he moves. So the next one I wanted was W to walk forward. So I'm going to create another new event, and I'm going to go when a key is typed, come down to it, right click and go change to while a key is pressed. I'm going to do W, letters W, and I'm going to get him to walk. So here's my walk cycle, and just do one cycle. So what is that? That just things that's already been written. So it means now I've got my C key working, so it turns it on and off. If I click on controls, it'll turn that on. It'll do the same thing. If I turn him left, and I can walk him forward with a W. There he goes. While I'm holding W down, he's walking. I can turn him right. He's not beautiful, he's a bit kludgy, but that's okay. And I can walk him right up to the screen, to the camera. Alright, so we're going to stop that one. The next one on my list is sit stand. Okay, given the way these things are written, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new event when a key is typed, scroll down, when the S key is typed, S, we're just going to get the husky to do his sit stand, which has automatically got built into it. If he's sitting then stand, if he's standing then sit, so we're not going to have to do that. I'd like to use that for a good reason. When I push W, when I push A or D, or W as well, because of this. If I play this, sit him down, and then get him to move, he's actually going to go through the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to employ this begin bit here, but I'm going to do it slightly differently than just dragging sit stand up here, because he's going to sit if he's already standing. So I'm going to hit an if else in there. I can do this and drag an if else into it, and I can drag the sit stand into the true part. I can check if he's sitting. So if he is sitting, then do his sit stand. So stand him up and then go left. And I can, this is a really good hint, drag that whole thing up here to the clipboard, come down to where D is and put it in there. And I don't have to recreate it. So I hit, just play this again, restart, sit him down. When I hit the A key, he stands up automatically for me and turns. If I hit the D key from there, change pose a bit, that's something we can play with, but this isn't meant to be picture perfect. We can walk him around like that, walk him around, sit him down, and the thing is he's going to try and walk upwards there, so I'm going to have to put the same thing in. When we've got the W key held down, I just drag it from my clipboard back into there. So this one is just going to be a barking one, so I'm going to create when the key is typed, down the bottom when the key B is typed, letter B is typed, I'm just going to get him to bark. I'm going to put a speed of 1. So if I hit play, hit my restart and bark. I'm not sure if you heard that, but he did bark. You can see his mouth move for sure, but there's a bark sound going on. So I'm going to stop that. And the next thing I will do is to do the enter key, which is to wag his tail on and off. Now all I've done here is a toggle wag method started it up. I'm going to create a property for the husky, his wag on, which is going to be a Boolean variable, and we'll set it to false to start with. So it's here, it's associated with the husky. I can use it in any of my methods, and right now I'm going to, just in my toggle wag, I'm going to turn the value of this to be not. The new value is going to be not the old value. So if it's true, it becomes false. If it's false, it becomes true. Alright. So what we are going to do is create a new event. So when a key is typed, it's down the bottom. When we hit the enter key, we are going to toggle wag. So it's going to turn it on and off. That's our first part of this. The second part is we're going to create another event, and while something is true. So we're going to do while, I can just go here, husky wag on, I am just going to use what's called the wag tail and give it value, both values 1. Alright, so hitting enter key runs this piece of code, which turns the old value of wag on to the opposite for the new value. So false becomes true and true becomes false. When it's true, we're going to just wag its tail, keep wagging, and when it becomes false, it'll stop. So let's look at that. If I hit the enter key, he wags his tail. When I hit the enter key again, he stops. So that's simple enough to do that. So let's just go back over things. If I click on the word controls, it'll show me the controls. Now I could do all sorts of fancy stuff, but I haven't got time to do that. If I hit the letter C, it toggles between showing and hiding the controls. My S key sits him down. My S key then stands him up. My W key walks him forward. My A key turns him to the left. It's not brilliant, but it's working. My W key walks him forward. I can turn him back to the right using the D key. If I hit the B key, he barks at me. If I hit the Enter key, he wags his tail, and he's going to keep wagging his tail even if he's sitting down, because I can make it go up to the position at the end there, turn him around here a bit. It's going to take a little while. Oh, turn, come on puppy. Husky, the more we turn him left, the worse his leg gets. That's a problem with that, not me. Sit him down, stand him up, and he's happy. Now the last one says hit the space if you dare. So what we're going to do, that's just me being silly. We've got all these other things as well. So we've got when the world starts, we use that one all the time. We've used when a key is typed, and we've also right clicked on it and changed it to while a key is pressed. When the mouse is clicked on something, it's exactly the same as a key being typed. While something is true, we've used that when a variable changes. So if the variable value changes, we can do something. We can let the mouse move the objects as the arrow move the subject. Let the mouse move the camera. That one's a bit hard, so we're not going to do that. But I've got all those, so I'm going to create one last event when a key is typed. So when the space key is hit, it's not going to be anything exciting. I'm just going to scratch his ear. So if I hit C to turn my controls on, you'll see it says space, press it if you dare, and I hit the space bar and he scratches his ear. So they're the events, and I hope that helps with your work that you have to do with the homework project, and especially with the practical tests.